I was just drinking every day, partying every day. And he said, he just called me out in front of everyone. We were literally at a party and I didn't think it was the right time or place to do it. So we had a big fight and he was right.
You don't realize how negatively that can go, but you don't know where you're currently at because you're just used to it. And also maybe even the people you're around in the party scene, not your friends, but in the party scene, they're also like around you, so that you're not really changing and evolving.
Bro, the therapy for me has literally helped me so much. And I think every single person, no matter how mentally strong and stable they think they are, I think everyone would benefit massively from therapy.
See this guy right here? This is Louis Armstrong. He started out as a videographer for top creators like Mike Thurston. After learning from the best, he went on to build his own brand around running, lifting, and traveling. He's now the founder of the Creator Club, which helps young men to build a business online and build top-level content. This podcast is a deep dive into how you, yes you, can change your life from your current existing habits that are holding you back. We look at how to change your life around, how to quit alcohol, how to realign your purpose, passion, and vision, and how to create an actual life that you're proud of. If you want to make a difference this year, this podcast right now is for you. Before we start this podcast, I have one little favor to ask you. Can you please hit the subscribe button down below so we can help more people every single week? Thank you. All right, man. Let's do this. I'm really excited for this, man. And let's just have fun with this as well because
yeah, but that's the thing is, well, like I just want to have fun. Like that's, I hope people can learn some stuff from our conversation, but more just so that like, I want to get to know you and tell you a little bit about my story. And like, I'm sure after this, we'll have a really good friendship as well.
Yeah, man. Let's start with that. Like your attitude towards like, I don't know, just like life, business is quite like casual and it's chill and that you bring that energy in. What made you keep that? Because a lot of guys get super serious in their businesses, right? In their fucking life.
Yeah, that's a good point. I always say I'm not the hardest worker in the room. I'll just be completely honest with that. Yeah. And like, I've been quite successful without having to like be super disciplined and super like business. Like I'm just way more chill. It's just the way I am. I just like to be me.
Yeah, you just don't give a shit really in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, but I do give a shit.
Of course.
So I don't know, just me being me is what has helped me so much. And by like, I don't know, I can be disciplined when I need to, but I'm just laid back and I trust the process.
I think that's resulted in a lot of people like drawing towards your brand though. Because you have grown like really quickly and just consistently, you know, not even quickly, because consistently, but people like really resonate with your work and your story more than likely because you're more honest and like open versus having like a face.
Yeah.
But that wasn't intentional, right? That's just organic to you.
Yeah, which is one thing that I would say I'm quite lucky.
Yeah.
Because I can't really act. So I can't be anyone else other than who I am.
Yeah.
And I think that has just benefited me massively. Like when a lot of people ask me now, are like, how have you become so successful? Or how have you grown such a loyal following?
Yeah.
And by the way, when like everyone determines success differently. And for me, success is just changing people's lives, improving people's lives. Like for example, my YouTube channel, I want people to watch my videos and then go and try something new. Either go for a run, try and run their first 5 kilometers, travel to a different country or just experience something new. But I would say just, I don't know. It's hard. Because I've done everything so slowly over like 5 or 6 years, like I said, my following isn't the biggest, my YouTube channel isn't the biggest, but I just have the same people who have watched for the last 4 or 5 years and they've watched me kind of transform and make a lot of mistakes on the way.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've always just been very conscious of is sharing my mistakes. If I make a mistake or I do something wrong, people even call me out on my YouTube channel sometimes in the comments and I'll argue back with them. And then...
How does that make you feel?
I like being called out. It's good.
Why?
Well, probably one of the first, my dad always called me out when I was young, if I was doing something wrong or doing something he didn't like. And then it's funny because I was obviously Mike Thurston was my best friend. And then along came Joel and then along came George Armstrong. George Armstrong loves calling people out. So like, I don't know. For example, there's one memory that I have. Me and George had a big fight in Ibiza because he said I had so much potential and I was just drinking every day, partying every day. And he said, he just called me out in front of everyone, which I didn't think was we were literally at a party, and I didn't think it was the right time or place to do it. So we had a big fight, and he was right. And it's actually funny because it's been almost 2 years. It was probably in May. It's been almost 2 years since he said that. And now eventually I have started to change. And over the last, we'll get into this a little bit later on, but I'm now like 94 days sober. And in the 3 months that I've been sober, my life has completely changed. And I was kind of a little bit lost in Ibiza. And I kind of, have you seen Nelk Boys?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to try and be like the UK version of that, like just get drunk, get wasted, like do stupid shit. And I was like, that was going to be my personal brand. And then thank God I didn't go down that route and get lost down it, because now I'm on a completely different path of being sober, improving my life, self-improvement, running every day, going to the gym every day and trying to better myself.
So interesting to see how I always talk about like time. So the impact of what you do today, you don't see it originally. It happens over time. So that can happen positively or negatively. So when you stop drinking, the first couple of days, didn't notice much. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, it returns like asymmetrical. So it increases. Same with the negative stuff. Like when you were a party boy in Ibiza, and like bear in mind, I basically had a subscription for DC-10, right? That like basically you don't realize how negatively that can go, but you don't know where you're currently at because you're just used to it. And also maybe even the people you're around in the party scene, not your friends, but in the party scene, they're also like around you, so that you're not really changing and evolving.
Exactly.
But when you said that George called you out, remember a guy called Justin Welsh said to me before that whenever you hear like negative comments or whatever, there's usually a tiny bit of truth in it. Whether you agree or not, there's a tiny bit of truth in it. And usually your response is negative and they throw your hands up and say, fuck you and so on. But if you can look at it and critically analyze, there's probably something you can learn from it. Now, you don't always need to do that, but sometimes when it's coming from a friend like George, who's just pretty blunt, it's a good way to view it.
No, I 100% like it. Now, honestly, this is the thing you have to be careful with on YouTube, is that people, like, for example, my YouTube now is doing amazing. Like, especially in Bali, the content in Bali is doing really good. We'll talk about that later. But like, I might get 100 comments and maybe I haven't took the time to reply to them. I do try and reply to them all whenever I get the chance. If I'm sitting on the toilet or whatever, it's not when I reply. But if someone writes a bad comment, I'll instantly reply to that, or I'll instantly bite. So now what I try and do is reply to all the good comments. And honestly, Casey Neistat said that he always deleted negative comments because negativity leads to negativity. So people read a YouTube comment and then they get that idea in their head and they're like, oh, maybe he's right, even though they could be completely wrong. And I luckily got to experience all of this with Mike's channel when I was helping Mike Thurston grow his YouTube channel. Is people just used to assume the most random shit ever about me and Mike, or Mike alone. And it'd be like, it's so insane. And then people would latch on to that idea and it would be just completely like obscure and just not true. So then I would just tell Mike, like, delete the comments. But if someone writes a bad comment on my YouTube channel, if they're right, or if they have a point, I'll try and listen to it and take it on board and then try and change. So yeah, I think when someone tells, like, as you said about the negativity kind of compounding and building up over 2 years in Ibiza, like when I think about what my life was at the end of those 2 years, like I bought a brand new car. I drove it literally, I bought a brand new car in Ireland, drove it straight on the ferry to Ibiza. And like, now it's just, it's fixed now. It's in Madrid. But my car just got completely destroyed because I was just going around like in Ibiza just every day, partying, not worried about anything, not thinking about anything. Like I almost lost my brand deals. Like I was losing subscribers on YouTube, and I just pretty much didn't care until it got to the point where I was like, fuck, if I don't turn this around now, I'm going to lose everything. And like, luckily it came to the end of the season, was November last year. And then me and Cindy were like, my girlfriend Cindy, she was like, right, we need to go. And I was like, yeah, I think you're right, we need to go. Because as you said, that negative compound I was like, okay, this is not a good place for me to be anymore. And it's just because people go to Ibiza, like the difference that I've seen from being in Bali compared to Ibiza is mind blowing. Everyone goes to Ibiza, they come on a weekend, they arrive, they just want to get completely fucked up. And I'm there living, and all my friends or random people on Instagram are just messaging me being like, oh, Louis, I follow you, come party with us, come do this. We'll buy you drinks all night. We'll buy you a ticket into Pasha, whatever. Like, and I couldn't say no. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, because I like to say yes to every opportunity. And it was just like, these people are doing this for one weekend of their whole year, coming here to get fucked up and have a good time and party and let loose. But I'm doing this every single day of my life and I'm living here. So there was no escape. And it was just extremely detrimental on every level.
Let's walk through that. So when you were kind of going through the 2 years, was there part of like your identity that didn't want to leave Ibiza?
Well, this is also another thing. My identity was like, bro, if literally 6 months ago, I would have had probably 3 or 4 beers before even coming on here. I would have had beer. That was my identity. Like, and it wasn't that I was like drunk and sloppy. It was just that I loved to have beers. I don't know. I think alcohol, like I've watched so many different people's stories on alcohol now, and it just gives you a little bit of confidence that you might not quite have. Whereas now I don't need it at all. I'm actually 10 times more confident without it. And I feel so much stronger and better as a person without it. But I had just this identity, like I'm always going to have a beer in my hand. In fact, I'm always going to have 2 beers in my hand. God give you 2 hands for for a reason. Like, so have 2 beers. And that was just the way I went about my life.
I think though, honestly, that you have to go through it, because like now a lot of people ask me, do I regret it? Because like it's been like 600 days for me, maybe 700 days.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Fuck, bro, that's so good.
So it's similar.
So good, bro.
So my last time drinking was amnesia for Hostels 82.
Wow.
Last day, I did 7 days in Ibiza. It was out 7 days straight. It wasn't like a catalyst like I'm done.
Yeah.
But I finished it. Then I moved to Singapore.
Yeah.
And the drink was so expensive. I was like, I'll do a month. Then it ended up being 2 months, ended up being 3 months. And what happened to me was I got to like 6 months, and the question was not when would I drink again, but why would I drink again?
Yeah.
Because I'd already been the podcast was growing, the business was growing. I was just getting better, right? So then it just kind of kept on flowing. And I'm not against other people drinking. I'm just against me drinking, right? Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with a guy called Rory Fairvains. His name is, a Scottish guy. The company's called 1 Year No Beer.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I just interviewed him recently. He still drinks. Yeah. So he helps people it's actually to control your alcohol.
That's what I really want to do.
So this is really interesting. So whereas we can get into this. So my personality is just very black or white. I'm like all in, all out, right? Very obsessive. Yeah. Like I'm like I was doing marathons every week during COVID. Fuck. Okay. I was a bodybuilder, right? Yeah. And I was doing marathons every week. And then I stopped that, went back to bodybuilding. And then I'm either partying or I'm not partying. So my kind of view on this, and Rich Roll, his approach on this too was like, you have to go like in or out. I don't really believe that, but I believe that for myself, I have to be in or out. Yeah. Because his approach is actually different. His is you should control it. So he still has like a drink for his first baby, when he got married, when he reached a milestone in the business. And he said you have alcohol to celebrate, not to use it as a depressant. Yeah. And that would probably kind of fit into your and my vibe anyway. But yeah, like where do you think you're going to go next with it?
It's so funny, bro. It's literally so, I think me and you are, first of all, exactly the same. Just so either one extreme or the other. Yeah. Like, bro, in Ibiza, I was, when I say partying, like every day, like hardcore, like come home at 7 a.m, wake up at 3 p.m, go for a run, literally get my run done and just straight on the beers.
Same.
Like every day. And it was the best. Like for a while, I thought this was the best life ever.
Well, see, that's the thing was when you're young, dumb and foolish, right? It's like almost fine. But I guess now I don't compare myself, but I benchmark myself against like other entrepreneurs. Yeah. And these guys are like 19 and they're like crushing it.
I know, bro. It's insane.
I'm 28 and you're 30
I'm
now.
30, yeah.
But so I don't like regret that. And it was like good like building blocks. But I think everyone, I remember you actually find this interesting. Yeah, this is very relevant. So like my like world growing up was like Joey D and watching Rob. Yeah. And I remember when Joey D was at my age, but 27 years younger, people were always asking me like, are you doing Ibiza this year? Yeah. And he's like, no, like Ibiza is fucking weird when you're old. And I mean, I never got that. Yeah. And then as I got older, I realized it. And what did it for me, you'll find this funny, was something that he said. He was like, I got to the stage in his life whereby he would wake up and he'd be at a session and he'd look around at 6 a.m. and he'd be like, none of these people I would hang out with when I'm sober. Yeah. So why am I doing it when I'm drunk?
That's a good question. Shouldn't be doing it.
But that's the reality is that, and they're old habits that you need to die. And I remember hearing when I left university, and like I was doing those 3-4 day sessions in university. Yeah. And I remember hearing being like, you don't want to make your college habits your life habits. And that always stuck with me.
I think there's a couple of things that we need to cover there. Two things is I did my kind of let loose, go crazy at a much later stage in my life. That's because I was in a relationship for like 10 years. And when that ended, then I went off. And that was like when I was 28. And just, I never had that time where I was in uni going crazy with the boys, or even 23, 24, 25. I didn't go crazy, or I didn't get that out my system. It was obviously in my system and I needed to get it out. Like I wanted to go and party. I wanted, like, I love music as well.
Same.
Like
That's,
I
and
really
still
love
to this day, right? That's the problem.
And like, I never regret anything. I made so many good friends. I made so many good connections. I'm friends now with loads of DJs who are like my favorite DJs, which is crazy. Like,
cool.
So I don't regret any of it, but I needed to get that shit out of my system because I had never done it. I had never went to Ibiza and partied and went crazy and stayed up till sunrise at parties and all of that stuff. And like, I made the best memories of my life over those 2 years. I made so many good connections. I made so many good friends. But now what I'm realizing as well is that I can make, like, I always used to think like, oh, if I go to a party, I might meet someone in the VIP who's going to be a good connection for me or whatever. But literally, bro, in 2 weeks being here on the beach or in the gym, I've already made so many good friends and so many good connections. So it's partying to make friends and networking
100%,
isn't necessarily the best way to do it.
And you just substitute it with something better. Like I know you mentioned about like a run club tomorrow, and I don't even have shoes, man. And if I had shoes, I'd come for a run with you. I don't even own shoes, but literally, like that's what you substitute it with, right? You like go for a hike in Bali, you get into surfing.
Exactly.
Like when I came back here, I got into surfing quite regularly, and you just do other shit. Now, like when Kind of Music popped up last week, I tried to get a ticket and it was fucking sold out, right? But I would have still went and not drank.
Yeah,
I just drove down, came back. But I think it's important to like not close a chapter, but to realize when something is like ending. And it's like important, right? It's like the guys that look back in university and still think about the days, like the good old days. But like we're living, man, like this is the fucking good days.
Yeah.
Like what we're doing like right now, like we have to appreciate this because it's fucking sick. It's like Friday evening in Bali, sun's coming down, we're in like a sick place. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's the best thing ever. And like, you were like, oh, I'm sorry for taking up your Friday evening, but there's no place I'd rather be than doing this right now.
Fuck, man.
So I want to say thank you for that, for the opportunity.
Of course. Yeah,
but
man.
It's funny you say about, I know I don't want to talk about alcohol for the whole thing, but I think you can see the benefits and it's something that you want to talk so passionately about because you can feel like, I can feel how positively your experience has been since going sober. But like what you said about Kind Music, you asked me when am I going to end my sobriety? And it's a question I think about every single day. And it honestly consumes my thoughts. Like I have the app that's counting down the days and I'm like, all right, we got to 90. And then I was like, we're getting close to 100. I'm going to like, I keep questioning myself, should I just go and have a beer on the 100th day to see if I can basically control it? See if I can just go and have one beer or two beers or a nice cocktail at sunset on the beach and then go back to being sober? Or should I just keep going until there's an opportunity? Like, I know there's going to be opportunities in the summer. Like, I'm not saying that I'm never going to be a party boy ever again. Like, I'm still going to go to parties and enjoy myself. But as you said about Kind Music, for people who don't know who Kind Music are, they're free German DJs, probably up there with one of the best and most popular in the world right now. They were playing in Sevilla, which is a sick club here, which I've never been to. So as you said, it was so hard to get tickets. I ended up paying like 400 quid for 2 tickets, which I didn't really want to do. And then organizing a taxi to go down. All my friends are there. All my friends from the UK are here. The whole Ibiza crew is here. And I was so excited. And I was like, do you know what? I don't even think I'm going to drink because I haven't hit my 90 days yet. And anyway, paid some guy like 50 quid to drive us down, wait for us there so we could come home. Or if any moment when I'm sober, I could just leave if it was getting too much. And then obviously the morning of the party, I got Bali belly and couldn't go. And I tried to get in the taxi. I pulled myself together and tried to go. And everyone was texting me, oh, come on, you have to come. Just take some Imodium, blah, blah, blah. And I got in the taxi. Me and Sydney were in the taxi about an hour and I was like, we need to turn back. I can't do this. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm going to go to this party. We're going to go to a villa before. Everyone hasn't seen me for like, this is like, I talked about this in my head. Everyone hasn't seen me for like 6 months. And I'm going to go down feeling bad, like sore stomach, bad head. And I don't want all my friends to see me as this new sober guy who is boring Like I want them to go and see the sober me who is full of energy and who can still have a good time at a party. But I was so sick and I was just like, I can't do this. And then I was really, really upset about it. I saw all the videos on Instagram, looked like the best party ever. And then I just told myself, it obviously wasn't my time. It's not my time to go back to that scene yet, to the party scene yet. So maybe it was a blessing.
Fuck, man. Yeah, like, 'cause it seemed like it was, right? It seemed like that it happened sequentially. But again, at the end of the day, you don't need to reserve, your happiness for future, right? It can be something that you want to work towards,
Exactly.
right? And I think what's interesting there is you mentioned about being boring. We can finish up on this point with alcohol. But I remember Piers Morgan said to Chris Williamson recently being like, people who drink beer are seen as more interesting and they're more interesting when they have a beer. And Chris Williamson said, I would argue people that don't drink are more interesting from what they say, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's just it's just the way we kind of come together. It's tradition. And that's why it's interesting for this conversation as Irish, English guy, right? We're used to this.
Yeah.
My question for you off that is like, a lot of guys are mid-20s, don't know what to do and don't know how to figure out their life. They're lazy, probably out of shape. How would you advise someone to basically turn their life around? Do you want to launch a podcast for your business, but you don't know where to start? Remove the stress, pressure, and all the overwhelm that comes with it by working with Podcast University. If you're an ambitious individual who wants to build your influence online, grow your own podcast, and also stand out from the crowd, Podcast University is for you. We help you with the strategy, equipment, the content, your guests, everything you need to create a top-tier podcast. If you want to learn more, check out Podcast University and start your podcast journey today.
Good question. It's funny, since I've been on this sober journey, I've met so many positive people. I met a guy in Madrid. I didn't really have any friends. I was living in Madrid before I came here for 4 months. I didn't have any friends. I met a load of new friends through my run club that I was hosting. Met a guy called Ronaldo. He's 21. And bro, this kid is like so switched on, so fit, so healthy, running a marathon, doing well in school. And he's just not interested in like the party life. So I think one thing that young guys, I feel like they think that they have to go to a party to get girls. I think that's the main reason. And what's funny for me in Ibiza was I was never going to a party to find girls. I was just going to get
music.
Just literally for the DJ.
Yes.
Like what, I didn't care about the girls. Like I was never ever going out trying to get girls. And I think most young guys go out looking to get girls.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason they party. But for young guys who are stuck now in their life, maybe in their mid-20s or in their younger 20s, I think just discipline and having a good routine. I think in Ibiza especially, I didn't have routine, didn't have any discipline. And I think picking something that's difficult to do, like starting running or set yourself a challenge for in a month's time, two months time. I know you did bodybuilding, like signing up to a show, like even if you don't have the genetics or you don't think you have the genetics to win, just to go and take part in it, to give you something to stick at and to be disciplined for. Or like what I always like to do is set myself little challenges on YouTube. And I always tell people to do this, even if they don't have a YouTube channel, you can still upload YouTubes to a private channel, to unlisted videos, and just document your life. And I say to people to do like a 30-day challenge. So try and go to the gym every day for 30 days, or try and track your macros every day for 30 days. Or I did run every day for 30 days. I've done all these challenges, and those are the challenges that basically ingrain those habits into my lifestyle and make me be like, wow, I've done this for 30 days. Now I don't want to give it up. I'm feeling so good after doing this. Like 30 days of cold showers, all of these things have kind of compound, and now they're all just part of my life. I do them every single day, and that's what's changed my life.
It's confidence, right? As in habits give confidence. There's Sahil Bloom writes about the 30 for 30. So do something for 30 minutes a day for 30 days will develop like any habit. So it can be pretty much anything.
Exactly.
In that way. The challenge with a lot of guys though, especially in like the kind of online world, is that they're comparing and benchmarking continuously against other guys.
Yeah.
But you've kept that kind of focus on yourself. How come you haven't like looked at, especially who's in your social circle, and basically got like envy or jealousy?
I know that's one thing that, again, I'm very fortunate, is that I never compare myself. I never, ever look at anyone and be like, how's he got that? I want that. Or I'm jealous that he's got that. Or I'm going to hate on him because he's got something that I don't have. Never, ever in my life. And like I've probably got one of the biggest influencer social circles in the world, like Mike, Rob Lipsett, Andre Dew, like all the boys that have got millions of followers. And they're all like my best friends. And it's actually funny, there's me and Joel. Joel's one of my best friends who I lived with in Ibiza for 2 years. And he's similar to me, but we've never, ever been jealous of what the other guys have, because we know who we are
Yeah.
ourselves, and we know what we can bring to the table. And we also know, like, I always say, like, of course, one day I would love to have a Lamborghini. I love cars. And I know that I can get a Lamborghini. Like, there's no question that I can't. It's just, am I going to be disciplined enough? Am I going to put in the work? Am I going to get out my comfort zone? Am I going to do what I need to do to get a Lamborghini? And people like Mike, like, many people are like, oh, how can you stand next to Mike with your top off? Like, I don't care. Like,
That's insecurity on there.
yeah, like, I don't actually care. Like, if Mike looks like this because he eats the cleanest diet anyone has ever eaten. He goes to the gym every single day consistently for the last 18 years. Like, and if Mike is happy looking like that, that's good for him. But if someone's going to judge me because I don't look like Mike, then I don't really care for their opinion. I don't care what people think, because I know that I am genuinely a good person. If anyone actually meets me one-on-one, they'll see that I have a good heart, a big heart, and I care about other people. I'm quite empathetic, quite sympathetic. And I know that I'm a good person. I try and live a good life and make a positive impact on the world. So, like, judging people, first of all, by how they look is just ridiculous for a start. Yeah. So I never judge anyone by how they look. And then Mike has so many followers and such a large audience, like, on YouTube, because me and Mike used to talk every day on the phone. He was literally in a flat in London with a whiteboard, making all these nutrition videos, making all these really boring. I found them boring, but it's the shit that helps people.
Yeah, for sure.
But I could never have sat in an apartment in London and wrote all these how to track your macros, how to cook this many meals for X amount of money. Like, that's not what I would enjoy doing. But Mike deserves to be where he is because he's put in all that hard work. And I know that if I want to get to a certain level, then I need to commit to it and I need to put in the work as well. I don't think anyone has got to anywhere because they've been lucky. I think everyone deserves to be where they are. Yeah. And, like, people now, like, blame the algorithm, like, oh,
that's such bullshit.
It is bullshit, bro. Like,
when you're just not good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At that point. And there's nothing wrong with not being good enough, right?
You need, if it's not working, you need to find a way to change it and fix it. Like, for example, my Instagram hasn't grown at all. It just stays the same. And I know exactly why. And it's because now on Instagram, everyone is providing so much value.
Yeah.
When I never used to look at Reels, but now I look at Reels because I kind of feel like, I'll speak for myself, but me and also a few of my friends, influencer friends, I'll say Mike as well, because Mike doesn't post Reels on Instagram. And now he's started to do it because we're kind of me, Mike, Rob, and all of them boys, we're kind of the old
OGs.
Content creators.
Yeah.
Like, it used to matter to us to make, like, a really cinematic YouTube video with sick edits, get the best editor, get the best photographer, get the best videographer. Now it's completely changing. It's everything on an iPhone with a tripod and just providing some form of value, like knowledge from a book or morning routine, or it's much more basic. Like, people call themselves content creators now, and I see their content, and to me that is not a content creator. Like, that is not, like, putting your phone on a tripod is not hot. That's not content. Like, when we used to go out and get the best cameras with 500 different lenses to get all the different angles, go out at sunset, go out at sunrise, wake up in the morning, like, travel the world to get content. That was a content creator. Now people can literally just, like, bro, I see people, like, sitting at their desk and just videoing themselves on the laptop, and then they just put, like, a motivational quote. And I'm like, that is not content. But you have to adapt. Like, my Instagram hasn't grown because I'm not posting content like that.
But at the same time, that's what makes you still unique. The fact that you have that old, not old style, but that creator style. And I actually wanted to ask you about that because, like, it was Hormozy that kind of revolutionized that, whereby you just sit there in your mom's basement and you just talk fucking about determination, or you talk about how to make a funnel, right? And, like, that stuff, like, works and people want that. But at the same time, you're probably familiar with Rory Sutherland, the English guy. Met Rory recently and he told me about the counter trend. And he was like, for every trend that starts, there's an equal or opposite trend. So when you have AI, the way I would position that is you have human connection. When you have talking heads, you should have, like, your style, which is more like, nearly, I wouldn't say lifestyle, but more just higher quality edits, right?
Yeah.
Because people, it's, like, refreshing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I think so. For example, my content that performs the best is like a 20-minute vlog. Like, that will always do the best.
Car.
Yeah. And that's, like, I mean, I'll just talk about nothing. Like, but people are just interested. I think this is one thing that I always say. If someone is really passionate about something, whatever it is, I will watch them because I like to see someone that genuinely cares so much about something. Yeah. So it's interesting to me. It doesn't matter what it is. And also if you can talk to the camera and feel comfortable with the camera, like whenever I pick up the camera, I never even think about it. I just talk to it as if I'm actually talking to my audience. And I think now so many people are enjoying it. I think Instagram in short form is so different right now to YouTube. YouTube is kind of, people now put YouTube on their TV on in the background, similar to like a podcast. They'll put on a podcast and they'll listen to it in the background. And I think people are doing the same with YouTube videos. They're putting on a YouTube video and it's some guy cleaning his house, talking about his routine, but it's just nice to listen to. And the videos are slower and more laid back. And those kind of super fast cinematic edits don't matter so much anymore. And I think I see so many kind of travel content creators, like the guys, Sam Calder and stuff, who were the best in the world. They've took like a break. They haven't posted anything in like 2 or 3 years. And I think they're kind of just watching and analyzing the space to see what is actually happening with the content, because it's completely changed 100%.
So how are you changing to that now? So
for Instagram, now I want to provide value, because I will be honest, I looked at my Instagram and it's basically me posing. Like, for example, just the last 2 pictures that I posted mean me holding a coconut and just saying how much I love Bali, which, I mean, I don't know who that's providing value to, but some people like it, but I want people to go on my Instagram and I want them to see, all right, okay, Louis knows about X, Y, and Z. I'm going to follow Louis because Louis is going to give me advice and help me grow my content creator platform. I'm going to follow Louis because he's going to help me improve my content, or I'm going to follow Louis because he motivates me to run. I need to basically sit and just analyze my Instagram and go with some direction. I just did 30 days of 30 YouTube videos, a daily vlog every single day. That did really, really well. I just needed to do something to change up my YouTube channel. I think it's so easy, especially when I was in Madrid, just making the same videos over and over and over again, like day in the life, full day of eating, like physique update, like all of that stuff. And it's just, for me, it's not enjoyable to make. I like to go out and do new things and try new challenges. So I think with Instagram, I just need to get out of the comfort zone and start doing things and sitting down and talking about what I actually know, what I can actually offer, and offer advice to people, and hopefully people can learn from my Instagram. Right now, if you go on my Instagram, if you go on my Instagram, you're not going to learn anything. You just see pictures of me with a tanned filter. Make myself look a bit more tanned. But
you could probably do a combination, right? Like
yes, that's what I want to do.
You could like walk on the beach. You could be like running or some shit. Like kind of Nick Bear.
Yeah, exactly. Nick Bear is someone who, like, I don't know how old Nick Bear is, but he seems like about 10 years older than me. He's so mature in comparison to me. I think I'm very immature, but
it's Americans though, right?
I guess so.
The American guys are just like geared towards that. You know?
But Nick Bear is so good. But it's funny because lots of people follow me for my running content, but whenever I post something that's running specific, people don't like it.
Interesting. So that's like my podcast, right? Because like we have a podcast business. So to get like business, we need to actually show people that we're not dumbasses. But at the same time, people want the journey, but they don't want the tactics. If you're familiar with Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, he says you should always be sharing the strategy and not the tactics, because the tactics is what people will actually pay for or they'll come into your community for. But the strategy is just like helpful, basically. So it's kind of like how to set up your Instagram better or how to create better reels or whatever. That's basically giving them a small bit of insight, but it's not showing everything. That's what Nick Bear kind of does, right?
Yeah.
Because he has his product in the back end. He does talk about like how he produces the product, his supplements and shit on his podcasts.
But Nick Bear, like for example, he's just an absolute beast. Like he ran a sub 3 hour marathon, like he's did an ultra, like he is an absolute beast. So his hard work and discipline, like I always say I would like to challenge Nick Bear. Like right now I'm in Bali. I'm probably going to enjoy myself for a couple of months, but I would need to take myself somewhere. Like, again, I was really focused in Madrid. I was killing it in Madrid. I working super hard, training for a marathon, running every day, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, like crazy, smashing it in Madrid. Now I'm in Bali, I'm a little bit more distracted, but I would love to go all in on something like how Nick Bear does with running and see if I can get to his level. Because I personally believe, like once again, I don't look at Nick Bear and be jealous or anything like that. I think I could get to Nick Bear's level if I put in the work.
For sure. And it's just time, right? So just like you mentioned about Mike and his videos, when he was there with the fucking whiteboard marker, people are probably calling him a dumbass. And then look at him 8 years later, right?
Exactly, bro.
Because it's a small incremental changes. And that sounds obvious, but then in practice, people are like, oh, fuck this, just give me the donut, right? They have that short-term instant gratification versus thinking long-term.
Exactly.
Talk to me about when you first like were introduced to like videography or even just camera work. Was that like kind of a spark for you?
So that was Casey Neistat. So
That was Rob too.
Was it?
That was Rob's interest. I remember hearing him talking about Casey before I even knew who Casey was.
I remember I just didn't want to watch TV anymore, so I started watching YouTube. And one thing I always loved about YouTube is how you can be so specific about what you want to watch. Like on TV, you can't watch anything too specific. Like I think TV is just a complete waste of time. So is Netflix. So Casey Neistat just kept getting pushed by the algorithm, like on my homepage. And I was like, who is this guy? And like, I had no idea who he is. And at the time he was doing daily vlogs. And I think he did them for like 3 years, consistently, like a daily vlog consistently. And like, I'm not talking about like just a random video of him holding the camera, like insane production, him doing everything alone by himself. And I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
Wasn't he homeless as well?
Yeah, I think, bro, honestly, like he's got the craziest story. Like I had a kid when he was like 17. His wife ran away and then he went and found his wife. Like Casey Neistat has the craziest story ever. But he was like flying a drone down the street of New York whilst riding an electric skateboard, filming it with a GoPro in his hand and the drone filming him. In the end, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, so I was like, I need to do this. I need to try and do something similar to this. Like, I don't know how many people know about this guy. So I literally bought the drone and then I was living in a small town outside of Belfast at the time. And I'd go out on my bike and like try and film myself on the drone. And like I used to make these videos that were like a copy of Casey Neistat, but they were so shit, like literally so shit, I would say. And bro, I was like 25, so this is only 5 years ago.
They're the whiteboard videos.
Yeah, bro. And like I remember like asking all my friends from my hometown, like, oh, will you like just watch the video so I can get one more view? Like I wasn't even asking them to share it and stuff. And everyone would just be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And like my parents were like, why are you doing this? Like, and I was spending all this money on cameras, on drones. And like, I was like, I need all this stuff. Because if I have the same camera as Casey, if I have the same drone as Casey, if I have all of Casey's equipment, I can make his style of videos. So I just saw what he was doing. And I was like, and then I found Christian Guzman.
Yeah. Nice.
Steve Cook. And I was like, right, if I can do what Casey does and then do a little bit of fitness as well, because I love the gym. And then bro, the videos were just so shit. And then I was like, right, I need to learn how to use the camera. So then I started volunteering to do work for do promo videos for gyms and like personal trainers. Like, bro, I didn't know anyone when I was in Belfast. This is another thing, which is why I started the Creator Club, which is my business that I have now, is that I was a photographer, videographer that had no idea how to do anything. And I didn't know anyone to even film. And I was just typing on, and literally YouTube taught me everything. Anything I needed to know, just typed it on YouTube, and literally that's how I learned how to do photography and video, everything through YouTube tutorials. And that's why I always tell people now, like, you can go and learn anything you want on YouTube for free. Like, there is no excuse to learn a new skill or to go down and take your life in a new direction. You can learn how to do everything on YouTube. That's why I love it so much. Like running everything that I've done in my life over the last 5 or 6 years that's improved my life massively has been from watching YouTube tutorials.
It's the exact same as me, man.
Yeah.
We didn't have money to invest in anything.
Exactly,
right?
bro.
Now you can pay with your wallet or your time, but like until you have the money in your wallet, you can't pay with it, right? So you have to do the time. And I think that's the reason why it took me so long to make anything meaningful in my podcast.
Yeah.
Because I needed to be the 4 years of bullshit, man. Like, man, I had this like shitty mic and I was using my laptop camera and then I had to stick my phone to the wall. And I remember the first person I told that to was Rob, and he was like, no way, my phone was also stuck to the wall. I swear to God. And we're like sticking it up, and then I was recording shit here and it was like humidity, my laptop was like fucked. But man, that's important shit. You need to go through that.
I think that's the part that so many people miss now, and they don't understand that.
And they don't do it because of status. Yeah. They look at people like you now or whatever and think, I can never get to that level. But you actually can't skip phase 1, 2, and 3. You have to go through the shit stage. Same with a business.
Exactly, bro. And like, that's one thing I tell people as well. Like, for the first 2 years, I just used a GoPro. And like, if anyone knows anything about cameras, a GoPro is a wide angle lens. So it's like really not cinematic. It's just used for like making sports videos or like So I was like trying to record like gym promo videos that should be like cinematic and special with like a proper camera, with a proper lens, with a GoPro, and they just looked so shit. Like, but you have to do that shit to learn. Like everyone should be doing that. Like, I don't think anyone should skip those steps. Like, it's so important. And like, even Mike and Rob and all of them boys, like there's so many people now, I can't make YouTube videos because I don't have an editor or I don't have a videographer. Me, Mike, Rob, everyone, we all filmed ourselves. We all edited ourselves. Like it's so important to learn those basic fundamentals.
100%. I edited 100 podcasts on my own first.
Really?
100. And
Wow.
I think that's why our business grew really well, because whenever I brought in a new editor, I could know exactly like what we were meant to do, or
Exactly,
you know,
bro.
I could basically pinpoint it. So our entire like business cycle, I've done every single role to the point that when we need to hire, it's already been done. Whereas like, you know, not going on a tangent, but the reason why I think a lot of businesses fail is because they'll start like a coffee shop. Like, how the fuck do I make the coffee beans? No idea, right? Do you get me?
Yeah.
So they don't know what they're meant to be doing, and then the place falls down as a result. That's super interesting, man. Looking at Creator Club, what are the biggest problems people run into? Are you an entrepreneur who wants to build your influence and authority online? You may have tried some of the hacks and tricks, but none of it has worked. And it makes sense. 90% of podcasts don't make it to episode 3. Of the 10% that are left, 90% of them don't make it to episode 20. That's where Voix comes in. Voix creates, manages, and grows your podcast for you on your behalf. If you've not been getting leads, not been growing consistently, you haven't found your tribe, and you don't know what to do, Voix is the answer. Don't just take our word for it. In the past couple of years, we've managed over 35 podcasts. We've also been able to generate over 55 million views with 500 episodes produced. And not only that, generating over $1 million for our clients in products, services, and sponsorships. So if you want to learn more about how you can build a great podcast and have it fully managed for you, schedule a call with me at Voix and we will help you achieve your podcast goals.
This is interesting. So with the Creator Club, I know everyone is making online courses now, and it's kind of a negative trend, gets a lot of hate. Anyone that releases a course gets so much hate. But what's different about the Creator Club is that it's a community. So when I first started the Creator Club, I just wanted to make a video course where I talked about all of the questions that I get asked every single day on Instagram. Like, I always get the same questions. I was like, right, rather than putting this on YouTube, because I don't want to make my YouTube channel about photography and videography and content creation, I want it to be more lifestyle. So I'm going to put everything into a package. I'm going to write down every question that I've ever been asked. And I'm going to basically make a package and tell my story about how I got to where I have, because I'm not super intelligent. I didn't do well in school. Like I am just the most normal guy ever. Like I said, I'm not the hardest worker in the room either. So if I can figure out how to, like for me, bro, like just to live this lifestyle, which is wake up whatever time I want in the morning, go and eat wherever I want, not have to worry about how much stuff costs, live in a nice place. I think I'll talk about this later as well. Me and Mike always like to live somewhere. I think environment where you live, and especially if you work and film videos, that is so important.
100%.
But like, if I can just live this life and be happy, I don't need anything else. I'm so content. And I've done this all by literally buying a camera on my credit card. And I've just figured it out. Like, so many people are scared to take risks and just like, and so on the Creator Club, all these boys, they have the fundamentals. The thing is, when someone signs up to my course, it's not super expensive. It's 850 euros, but it's the community, and I think people just are scared to take risks. They have no confidence and they have all these ideas in their head. Sorry, my voice keeps going. They have all these ideas in their head, but they have no one to share their ideas with. Like, most of these people are from small towns in the UK or Ireland. I've got a load of Irish boys. Shout out to the Irish boys, by the way. They live in a small town where everyone is so kind of just like walking around with a blindfold on, like 100%. Just, they have no idea. Like, they think that you just need to stay in your small town for your whole life and you need to go and work a normal job 9 to 5. And like, they think that is the only way to live your life. And don't worry, you'll be able to enjoy yourself on the weekend. And most of these people living that life just go out on a Friday and Saturday night to the pub, get fucked up, and Sunday they're hungover, and then just repeat
That's
that cycle.
That's why they never get out of the regular path, man, right?
So many people are stuck in that. So the Creator Club is, 1, give people confidence. 2 is like, we have a WhatsApp group. We did use Discord, but now we use WhatsApp. It's kind of less informal, and it just makes everyone feel better connected, and everyone is just sharing. Like if anyone has a good idea, they just write it in the group. So we have a weekly Zoom call where there's 26 boys now in the Creator Club, and there's usually at least half of us turn up to the Zoom call. And what normally happens is I end up just going off on a rant. It's meant to be an hour, but it ends up being 2 hours. And it's the same questions over and over again. Like, oh, Louis, do you think I should do this? Or how do I approach this client? Or how much should I charge for this video? And like, sometimes I'll tell the boys, like, I don't think you're ready to charge yet for a video. You need to go and do another 10 videos for free until you're like, if you charge 300 euros for a video, like I wouldn't pay 300 euros for that video. So you're going to put so much pressure on yourself to make this video, and maybe the client's going to be unhappy, and it's just going to ruin the whole process of it. It's much better if you just do it for free, get the experience, and then when you're ready, because I've done all this over the last 6 years and I've took my time doing it, I can give the boys good advice on what type of content to make, like approaching their first clients, how to get their first brand deals, sponsorship deals. Like I've worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, BMW, Red Bull, Land Rover. Like this is the thing as well. This is why now in Bali, I'm kind of back to my flow. I'm reaching out to brands again. In Ibiza, because I was in Spain, it's kind of difficult to get deliveries, to get packages, to work with brands when you're in another country. UK is good for working with brands. And I think Bali will be too. But I used to literally just every single day, if there was any brands doing anything that I liked, or if they had a good product, I'd message them, reach out to them. Hi, I'm Louis. This is what I do. I'm a photographer, videographer. I can create content for you. Just send me the product for free. So many of the boys in my course are like, they don't know how to do all of those basic things. And I just figured out how to do all that stuff by getting a load of no's. Like lots of people told me no, and like it comes full circle. Like I remember I messaged Gymshark like 3 or 4 times. They ignored everyone. And then eventually, once I started running on my YouTube channel, they reached out to me and were like, oh, Louis, we'd like to sponsor you. And like, I think there's just so many, because when I first started, I had to figure all of this out myself. It's kind of like a little cheat code for them. I can give them what I've learned and what I've experienced. And as well, bro, it's really good for just brainstorming and sharing ideas.
You get better as a result.
Yeah,
right?
bro.
So when I built Voix, our company, I was always fearful, would that pull away from my podcast? But it actually did the opposite. It actually made me better, because when I was teaching people and coaching people and working on their shows, it made me more intentional what goes into it.
Exactly, bro.
The brand stuff is super interesting, because like we do sponsorships for podcasts.
Yeah.
We do a ton of stuff for Rob and whatnot. And what I think is quite interesting, could be an opportunity for you, is maybe building that network of brands that you could potentially bring to people in the creator network.
Yeah,
so
that
we
would
do
be good.
Because we work with some big tech companies, and when someone comes into our company, we basically can partner with them, and usually they want to go through a Louis versus going through like a random person who doesn't know the process. Yeah. You know? So that's just an opportunity for you, basically.
That's really interesting. I would love to do that.
Because we did something similar with huge tech companies, and they generally, I think actually what was funny was the way they described it to us is that they're looking for someone who's like a forever learner, basically like educational content.
Yeah.
So it can be tech, fitness, entrepreneurship, and like, yeah, it doesn't really matter as long as the audience is pretty strong and pretty educated, basically.
Yeah. Well, like as well, this is another thing, is there's so many brands, especially in the beginning, like I had to say no to a lot of brands who, sometimes their product was shit, or the brand just didn't like, or they wanted to script out my entire Instagram post. And I was just like, no, I'm sorry. Like even at that beginning stage where I was pretty broke and I needed as much money as I could get, obviously it's very easy to say yes to every single brand deal.
For sure.
But I think me turning them down and saying no to certain ones and saying, no, if we're going to work together, I need the creative freedom. I need to be able to decide how this photo looks like. Some of them would be like, oh, we have to edit it in our style. And I'd just be like, no. Like, and I think that is what has made my personal brand so strong. And that's what has built such a loyal audience of followers. Like I don't have the most followers at all, but my audience is so loyal. And whenever I do push a product or promote a product, like Whoop, for example, is one of my favorites because I love tracking data, especially sleep data.
Same, I'm a fucking nerd.
Yeah, same.
Elise isn't a fan of me tracking data though. I used to have like a shit ton of them, and she's like, they say that's not sexy at all. It's not.
No, it's not. Well, I've got an Apple Watch and a Whoop on the same wrist, but I literally don't care, bro. I love tracking my data. Like I keep getting new fitness trends, like especially when I was training for the marathon, like seeing my VO2 max and stuff, and I literally love that.
I'm just saying, I eat that shit up.
Yeah, bro.
It makes a difference.
No, right? Bro, and this is the thing as well. Like when you're saying to people on how they can improve their lives if they're stuck in their 20s, like start tracking things in your life. Like start tracking your sleep, start tracking your step count, like all of those little things. If you improve those, if you can see the data, especially on graphs, and see trends, and you can see that the little things that you're doing is improving these, it motivates you.
100%. It's like a number in your bank account, right?
Exactly.
You have to look at it objectively, without like, any sort of like attachment to say like, okay, like we actually have no money, or we're making money, or so on, and then not get too egotistical because a number, like I'm super healthy or whatever. But it's just looking at it as a metric. Just like when you go into the gym, you should track your weights, you track your body weight when you wake up in the morning, and you track a few other things, right? But if you don't have an eye on them, you're going in fucking circles.
Exactly, bro. And like another thing that I want to say as well, it's kind of in regard to the alcohol, is I just ran a marathon in Barcelona. One of the things over the 3 months that I've been sober, I purposely didn't buy scales, so I didn't know my weight. And I'm 30 now, since I was 16, 17. So basically for 13 years, I've been the same weight. I was always 86 kilograms on the dot. And now I'm not anyone who watches me and knows me is my diet starts on Monday, and I've never ever been good at tracking calories. I've never been shredded, bro, ever. I've never had abs, ever. Like, and everyone laughs. And like, some people kind of get frustrated with me that, oh, Louis not meeting his true potential, blah, blah, blah. And now being sober and not drinking alcohol for 90 days, I feel like I am on track to reach my true potential. And that's another thing as well that made me kind of turn my life around, is Mike sent me a massive message. Good old Uncle Mike, and was like, bro, like you have so much potential. Like he was like, you can speak on camera so much better than me. Like I think you can literally do whatever you want. Like he was like, just get out of Ibiza, leave Ibiza and go and sort your life out. And I was like, wow, like imagine, I heard David Goggins talking on Joe Rogan saying about if he died and got to heaven when he was like spraying for cockroaches or whatever, and he met God and God showed him who he could have been. This guy who was running ultra marathons every week, or this fucking fat guy who was spraying cockroaches in burger joints. And he was like, when I had that vision, that was when I decided to change. And that's for me, when I was like, do I want to just be known as this guy who's got a little belly and is nice and tanned in Ibiza, sitting on the beach drinking beers all day? Or do I want to be someone who people actually respect? And I actually started to respect myself because
100%.
I saw my body changing. I stepped on the scales after 3 months and I was 79 kilograms.
What?
Yeah. Like the lightest I've ever been pretty much since I was 16.
What?
And my body was insane. I used to look, this sounds so weird, and I'm not like a narcissist or anything, but like I would get out the shower and look at myself in Madrid and see my body and be like, what the fuck? I've never ever looked like this in my life. And I didn't like, bro, I was still eating 3 bowls of cereal a day. Like I didn't change my diet, still eating burgers, like still worst diet ever, but just cutting out the alcohol. Like my body was always just so inflamed and bloated and just unhealthy, bro.
But man, you know what's funny is that as you talk about the returns and how it scales the right way, right? Is that now that you're on this more like path of like personal development and self-development, I hate those words, it's kind of like a fucking American word, but it keeps on going basically, right? Is the fact that I was the exact same as you. Like I was making progress for the last couple of years, but not really though, because you're going off the rails and so on. So then when I cut it out, I got a coach, high performance coach. Yeah. And we did like a big bulk together, and then we did a massive cuff together. Yeah. And then after doing that kind of cycle, I was like, you know what? Carbs isn't what I enjoy. And I was like, it's affecting my work. I was like, I'm asleep at 2 p.m. in the day and I was super groggy and tired. So then I took it to the next level, which was like, okay, let's go off carbs. Let's go on an animal-based diet. And it was another big increase. And then I was like, okay, how do I get better from that? Maybe I want to eat twice a day, maybe not 3 times a day or 4 times a day. So it's just small changes that works the right way. And the opposite then is a death by 1,000 cuts, right? When you're in Ibiza, you go out, you get fucked, you take fucking drugs, whatever, and then it keeps on going. But it's death by 1,000 cuts. Exactly. You don't realize that it's happening.
Exactly, bro. 100%. And like, even like, this is one thing that people need to be careful with is you think that you're untouchable. You think that you can just do this forever. But like, bro, when I realized at the end of my Ibiza second season, I was like, I haven't had, like, bro, I had so much content on my phone and stuff. And like, I hadn't ever took the chance to sit down and have peace and quiet and think about what is happening in my life and reflect on how I had been behaving. I hadn't written down any goals or any targets or anything like that in the last 2 years. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how can I live with no direction basically and no purpose? And then just that's the thing, like, I'm probably not going to have a drink when I hit 100 days because, bro, even just my body, that is enough to make me realize, like, I don't want to have a beer because me, like, it sounds weird, right? Because I've never ever cared about how my body looks. And I've always been around people like George, Mike, Rob Lipsett, and they're all super shredded. And I've never been jealous. Like, they can be shredded and I can have a little belly, like, I don't care. But now I don't want to lose this. Like, I don't want to start drinking again because I don't want to lose this because I feel so good. And even when I'm running and stuff, the Barcelona Marathon, I didn't really do any training. I was running, I should have been training, but I didn't. But I was running consistently every single day. And like in January, I ran, I think it was 300 kilometers in a month. So like around 10K a day.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And just seeing how much your body can, like, bro, I felt amazing. Like, my body felt good. I didn't feel tired. And like, I think what you just said about trying different diets and seeing what works, eating 2 meals a day instead of 3, like being so self-aware about stuff like that. I think there's one thing that so many people miss. And like, bro, I like to fast as well, like intermittent fast. So there'll be times where I have a big lunch and I'm at, like, after the big lunch at 2 or 3 o'clock, that's me pretty much fucked for the whole day. Like, there's no way that I can do anything because I've done all the hard work, which is intermittent fast, and then have a big carby meal, and then I'm just completely fucked. And I'm like, why have I done that?
You feel so bad with yourself.
Yeah, bro. So, and I think we're both really lucky to be so self-aware and like to track. Like, I think it's a good thing that we like to track the data. People might call us nerds or obsessive, but if it makes you live a better, healthy, more sustainable, like more fulfilling, more productive life, I think it's good to be obsessed with this stuff.
Anything that leads you to having a better life is okay once you follow it, right? If you're doing something like, you know, you might be like spiritual, you might be into like meditation, you might be into like religion, right? We always talk about this on my podcast, the fact that like whatever it is, if it makes you a better person, just fucking do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what the vehicle is. You talk about running. A lot of people may not resonate with running, but they take the same similarities from jiu-jitsu or boxing or whatnot. Talk to me about running. What is it about running that makes you love it more so than other sports?
I think running changed my life more than anything else in the world. I think running...
When did you get introduced to it?
Coronavirus.
Same.
Yeah.
I was a sprinter before though, when
really?
I was a kid. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was a 100-meter sprinter, and then how many Irish guys you've seen in Olympics, right? Not that many. So I moved out of that. But I just stayed short distance because I felt like I wasn't good at it. And then during COVID, I just started running half marathons, and man, whatever you do, whatever you work on, you're good at.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's like fucking astrophysics, right? You can pick up anything. You can be good at it. You get to 80% in 6 months.
But I think that's exactly what you've just said is with running, most people start running and they're not good at it. Like, they struggle to run their first 5 kilometers without stopping, or they don't understand how they can't run without, now all the things that are so easy for me when I run, like thinking about my breath or control my breath or learn how to breathe when I'm running, I don't even think about it. It's just, you obviously learn how to do it. Like, so many people message me on Instagram like, how do you control your breathing when you're running? And I'm like, it's actually difficult for me to answer because it happens now just so, like, what's it called?
Intuition.
Yeah. So for me, running, I started running during Corona and I did a YouTube challenge. I was like, okay, I went on the treadmill and I tried to run 5 kilometers. And by the way, treadmill running to run on the road is a little bit different. Sure. It's a lot harder on the road, to be honest. But I was like, I'm going to start on the treadmill and I'm going to run every single day 5 kilometers and see. My time when I ran it, the first day was like 35 minutes, which was fine. And I was like, I want to try and get it down to 20 minutes in a month. So I just stayed so disciplined, and like eventually I got shin splints, which is an injury that most people get when they start running. And it's normally because they're running and they're hitting the contact with the floor is with their heel rather than their forefoot. So they're putting so much pressure through their whole shin. This is literally one of the most common questions that I get asked. So I think when people start running, they need to get a good pair of shoes, first of all. They need to work on their form. So they need to make sure their forefoot is landing first, because so many people get injured when they start running. And so many people go and try and run 5K every day and then they just destroy themselves and then they hate running. And I think that's the reason why I started running, was because I was so bad at it. I was good at the gym. I could go and lift weights I was quite strong, like good genetics, luckily. But just running, I was so bad at. So I was like, I need to, and my next challenge is going to be swimming because I'm so bad at swimming.
I was the same. I got into swimming.
Really?
Yeah, I got into like what is it, like 150 meter length pool in Singapore because I was far from the beach.
Yeah,
and I was on a massive bulk. I was like 85 kilos, and I was like, you probably saw me. I was like a fucking whale in there. But initially, I did like half a length, and then I did a 1 length, and then I was getting up to like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and yeah, I fucking loved it. And now, if I'm swimming in the sea, I actually got a lot more confidence because I used to, like, you're never in the sea in the UK, right?
No,
I never had the confidence. And yeah, like for me, I would love to go and do like a triathlon now. But what I always say, my coach said it to me, like he's always like, do you want to run around a fucking volcano, do an ultra marathon, or do you want to build a massive business, right? So for me, it's a very easy tell right now where I'm at in my life.
Yeah.
But of course, like I don't want to just put it to this fucking side forever.
No.
I just feel like that I just need retarded levels of focus for anything to work, basically.
Yeah. I think that's one thing. Like that mean you can be slightly, I think if you, like most people, when they want to go and run an ultra marathon or a marathon, they have a time. And so they need to train to get that time. Whereas I would just not really train and I wouldn't even worry about my time. I just want to go and do the marathon and complete it. Like I did an ultra marathon in Ibiza. It's like 50 kilometers, no training, drinking beers every day for 2 years, drank like 5 beers the night before, had 4 hours sleep, woke up in the morning and we had to go out and run 55 kilometers. And actually on the 52nd kilometer, I twisted my ankle, so I couldn't do it. So luckily my friend Kevin, shout out to Kevin, who's actually from Ireland as well, from Mayo. He finished the last 3 kilometers. But like, that's the thing for you. It's difficult because if you were going to do an ultra marathon or a triathlon, I can tell by the type of person you are that you are going to be so dedicated to it that you won't be able to concentrate on anything else. Okay. So I think it's hard, especially in the like sports like marathon training, ultras, triathlons. It's not something that like you can go to the gym now for an hour and also and put all of your focus on your business. Yeah. Whereas if you're training for a triathlon or an ultra, you need to be out training 3 or 4 hours a day and like nutrition, sleep,
fucking everything.
Yeah, everything has to be dialed in.
One of my mates, he sold his business like 10 years ago, and he took a year out to do an Ironman, and he moved to Lanzarote, and he said he spent 24 hours a day working on Ironman. He said he spent 12 hours training and 12 hours looking at spreadsheets. Did it for a year. And he like won the fucking Ironman, or whatever the fuck it was, in Lanzarote. And he moved to the place where it was with his kid, fucked his kid into some Spanish school. And he said, right, we got a ton of money. Let's just work on this for a year.
But I think that's the best way to live life.
Yeah, true.
That's why, exactly. Like that's why you should work hard on your business so you can get to that level where you're able to just go and do stuff like that. Yeah. Like I think Nick Bear is a perfect example of that. He's worked so hard on his YouTube, on his business, now that he can literally hire a team to help him with his training like, bro, he has like 3 videographers following him on his runs. Like in the morning, like he's worked so hard that he now can put that team in place so that he doesn't have to worry about anything other than just showing up, which is, I think that's going to be the next stage that I want to go to is like Mike. I noticed when Mike hired a team, completely changed his life. Mike actually, it's funny, he had a turning point similar to me now in Ibiza where he's like, right, I'm not going to come to Ibiza anymore. And I'm just going to go to Dubai now. I'm going to set up a podcast. I'm going to hire a team. And when Mike just went back to Dubai, I remember him leaving Ibiza in the worst mood ever after doing nothing for a couple of months. And he was like, right, I have to get out of here. I have to just go and dial in. And he did. He went and set up the podcast. He hired like 5 different team members, photographer, videographer, editor, like assistant, like, and it just upped his game in every single way. Yeah.
So, the common story there is like someone who's young has a child and then therefore they get rid of all their bad habits because they have the responsibility. I think entrepreneurship is the perfect vehicle for that because you have to show up for yourself. Like we have 8 full-time people now.
Wow. And
the average age is like 21, 22. And the main thing I would honestly say that the guys get is just mentorship because like some of them are like 18, 19. I hired one guy when he was 17, he was in school. And we have these like one-to-one calls, and they just learn all the shit that I fucked up for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
But in doing so, it forces me to be a better person, subconsciously as well as consciously.
Yeah.
Because the guys still love the parties. Like a few of them are moving here, and they're asking me about like villa parties and stuff. And I was like, yeah, you can go do it. I just won't be there.
Yeah.
But you need to set that example. So the first one is like a business. Second one is like a kid. Third one is like in a relationship. So the biggest thing for me, I want to get your thoughts on this too, is I travel a lot for the podcast, and when I'm on my own, I'm usually a little bit lazier than when I'm with Elise. Because usually when I'm with Elise, I'm much more on the ball, and I think it could be subconsciously I want to be a better person. Therefore, I work a bit harder when it's literally in focal. But when I'm in like Dubai, I work a lot, to be fair, but I could just be like on my phone sometimes. You get me?
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's like really weird. When someone's not watching you, that's kind of who you are.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm a lazy prick.
Yeah. Which is also fine. Sometimes
Which is the reality of the world, right? You know, people are not always moving at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. I think you just have to be careful, because I think when you do, it's hard. Like, for example, when I did the 30 days of 30 YouTube videos, I didn't see the result, but now I'm seeing the results, which is funny, a month later. And when I was doing that, it's you move it. I didn't have time. Like, for example, if Cindy needed help with something with her business or with her work or photos or videos, I actually didn't have time to help Cindy, which was kind of a good thing, because it also made Cindy respect me and my time more. Whereas before, like, my life is quite funny because I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want, whenever I want. But having goals and having focus, like doing those 30 days of 30 YouTube videos was so good for my business. Like, I signed up, I don't know, like 5 boys in a month on my creator club. And that's just because people were seeing my content more. They were seeing me more. They were getting to know who I am. They were getting to know more about the creator club. And like, for example, since I've been on the sober journey, I've signed up the most people ever to the creator club. And again, this is another thing. I try not to promote it because like I told you, I'm embarrassed about the website and how it looks, and it's a little bit unorganized. So I'm not quite ready for a massive influx of people right now. But as you said, it's funny because the OG Creator Club boys, they've saw my transition. Like, they joined when I was in Ibiza being a party boy. And actually one of them, I'll give him a little shout out, Joe Martin, called me out. He's like, oh, Lou, I signed up at this Creator Club and you said we're going to do a Zoom call every week. And I wasn't doing that. I was basically waiting for, there was like 3 or 4 boys at the beginning. I was waiting for there to be like 10, and then I was going to start the Zoom calls. And then he was like, no, we need to do it now. And I was like, fuck, he called me out on an email. And I was like, I don't even know who this guy is, but he's paid this money for my creator club. So now it's time for me to sort my shit out and level up. And ever since he did that, we've done a Zoom call pretty much every single week, apart from maybe 1 or 2 that we've missed because there wasn't a good amount of people. And the Zoom calls on my creator club has been what has been by far the most impactful for everyone.
Leading by example.
Exactly. And that is what has been, that's why the creator club is so good, in my opinion, for these Zoom calls, for this community, for where we have these group talks for 2 hours. And like, all the boys came to Ibiza. We got a massive villa for 3 or 4 days, and we did ice baths, we did saunas, we did hikes, we did all the good stuff, and we did some parties as well. So yeah, I'm really proud. But again, I need to lead by example. And I think, again, being on this sober mission, before I thought I could lead by being the party boy who can drink the most beers. Yeah, like
the man, right?
Look at me, I know everyone in the club. I don't have to queue. I can go in the VIP. Like, I thought that was cool, and like pretty sad, to be honest. Like, I don't want that. I thought I was going to build a personal brand on being like that guy and maybe like create my own. Yeah, bro. And like, that's just not who I want to be at all anymore. So I've done like a complete switch, and I'm super grateful because all the boys, and like, I read a couple of comments. Well, one comment last night, literally just before I went to bed. Wow, Louis, so happy with you. So happy you're in Bali. So happy for you and Cindy. Completely turned your life around. I have resubscribed. So like, you know, people were kind of falling off when I was, because bro, you can't really relate to anyone who just parties every day. Like, most people don't want to do that. Most people want to improve their lives. So now I'm very conscious of making sure, like, bro, I used to think it was funny to put up stupid videos of Mike or me or Rob or whoever, sometimes get people in a bit of trouble by posting stupid videos on Instagram. Because like, I just like to be real, bro. If we like to go and get fucked up at a party, don't hide it. Like, I mean, I respect Mike and Rob on their decisions on what they post and what they don't post, but that's why people like me, because I don't hide anything. But I understand why they didn't post 3 days of partying in a row, because people don't respect that. Like that's, people follow Mike, Rob to get in good shape, to improve their lives, to learn. So now I'm kind of on that same mission as well, whereas I'm more conscious about what I post. Like I've been going to the gym twice a day, like in the morning and in the night. I've been eating healthier. And I think I like to post my whole life on Instagram stories. People know me from my Instagram stories. And I do that because it kind of holds me accountable as well. And people watch for example, I used to get this Starbucks drink, like, and call it an everyday bro, like what Jake Paul used to do. And everyone used to message me and like, bro, people were tagging me like 15 stories a day of their Starbucks order saying it's everyday bro. And like, I know that if I live a good life and a healthy life and I'm trying to improve, like, bro, even posting quotes, I'm reading Atomic Habits at the minute. I'm just getting into reading. So start with that book first.
It's the best thing to do, man.
Yeah, bro.
In the morning.
It's so good. Highlight the pages, lie in the sun. And even if I post like one page a day on my Instagram, everyone's like, oh, can you do that again tomorrow? Can you like post little just highlighted bits in the book? And people find that helpful. It's so easy to help other people. And I just try to help people open their minds so that they can...
Think of all the people that are learning from you that are not messaging you. I always think about that, man.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like 6 months, 12 months from now, someone will send you a screenshot of them leaving their shitty fucking job, building their business, and it's the intangibles, right? It doesn't actually have to be running business, food, or alcohol. It can be all the other stuff. Question for you on that is, did you get any negative feedback from quitting alcohol?
None. Absolutely none. I've had probably the most messages I've ever had in my life, like literally the nicest messages ever. Like so many people also doing it themselves. Like I got an app that tells you how many days since or whatever. Everyone's downloading the app. Everyone's sending me screenshots. Oh, Louis, I just did 30 days. Like, but again, this is the thing that I'm struggling with now, to be honest with you, is that I don't know when I'm going to go back or if I am going to go back, but I would like to, like, I think about an ice cold beer on the beach or after being in the gym or whatever. And I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to go back to that stage of being able to just enjoy that. Or do I don't have to do that anymore? Like I'm happy with a protein shake or a acai bowl. Like, do you know what I mean?
Could be moments of like achievement.
Yeah.
You know, when I spoke to that guy, Rory, that's what he was really mentioning about, was like, you know, you get married, you get engaged, that's when you'd have it. He had it at his wedding and so on. And he was a crazy party boy.
Yeah.
You know, he's famous for being on Daily Mirror for sticking his head out the out of a train. His head was out the train and he was videoing himself. He's on the front page of Daily Mirror of all fucking things. And he's saying this, right? So there is a control element.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy it, so the thing, this is the difference between me and you. I never enjoyed beer. I just enjoyed drinking a shit ton of gin and just going to DC-10, right? Do you get me? That's what I enjoy. I didn't drink alcohol for the taste, right? Yeah. And that was my argument to a lot of people too, was like, whenever I write about it, people say, well, I just like a whiskey like once a month. And I'm like, yeah, but most young guys don't enjoy the taste of whiskey.
Exactly.
You know, they enjoy what whiskey does for you.
Yeah.
But if you actually genuinely enjoy beer, like Bintang beer here is actually like really nice, like a local beer, then it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But there just has to be that kind of line. But the problem is the control.
Yeah, and exactly what you said. Like, for me, at any point in my life right now, having one beer is not there's going to be no positive impact. There's just absolutely no point for me.
Yeah. Did you watch the podcast with Andrew Huberman about alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually watched it, but I've heard about it several times. But yeah, there technically is no positive impact.
There is, like, it is poison.
One consideration, I suppose, like, that you may need to have is, like, for me, it was more, I was drinking when I was partying. So when I was, like, living in Asia, obviously there's fucking Savoia down the road, but for the most part, I wasn't going to clubs.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy like a casual beer, it's like, that's always an option. That's actually nearly more dangerous.
Exactly.
Do you get me?
And that's another thing that's so good about living in Bali. I know I haven't talked about being here, but this place is just so good for healthy living. Like there isn't, other than Savoia, I don't think there's a party scene here really at all. Like everyone is on the healthy, like, bro, I go to everyone's in the sauna until 10 o'clock doing ice baths. Then they have a protein shake or a smoothie. Like all the restaurants close at 10, half 10. Everyone goes to bed early, wakes up early. Like there isn't, again, this is another thing that I want to cover, not going back too much into the alcohol, but environment is just 100% everything, bro. The second I got on the ferry with my car and left Ibiza, I was like, right, this is the change. This is what I need. I'm like, bro, I'd wake up, and because my apartment was above all the bars and restaurants, I just go downstairs at whatever time everyone's on the beers, everyone's drinking, everyone's got a cocktail. And it was just so normal. Like, how it would be weird if I didn't have a beer because everyone else is. And again, just so many people. And this is another thing that I tell the boys on the Creator Club is the environment, bro. Like, if you're stuck in this small town, like in England and Ireland, it rains every single day. It's
miserable.
Grey, it's cloudy. You can't go out and film content, and no one wants to watch content of someone in Manchester in the pouring rain. It's just, it doesn't inspire anyone. I always said, like, even when I was just getting started, I used to love going on holiday, and I love seeing, like, it sounds stupid, but something so significant, just seeing a palm tree and a sunset makes you feel so good, gives you such good energy.
Feel, right?
Yeah.
And it's irreplaceable, but Asia's the best for that, right?
Yeah, bro, it's so good. So environment, like, is just insane. Like, bro, even if you go into any cafe here, everyone's on the laptops, everyone's doing designs, everyone's editing videos, everyone's doing the same type of work, building an agency, doing marketing. And like, you literally go and ask someone for a Wi-Fi password, and you'll have a little, they're actually interested in what you're doing as well. Like, everyone's interested in each other, and I'll take my number, we'll go for a coffee. Maybe I can help you, you can help me. Like, I'm sure we'll do lots of work together. Like,
man, I'm actually excited to work on your shit, man.
Same, bro.
Because I love going like from zero. It's
Nice.
like it's my favorite thing is like 0 to 1. Because like where we are, we're a scale up company now. I'm just fucking CEO of the company, you know? So I love like the nitty gritty, like 0 to 1 shit.
and that's the stuff that I'm really have no idea about. So
That's the creativity side, right? That's why Bali is good for someone like you too, because there's not many people that I speak to that have the creative lens that you have. But that's like a huge side to lean into.
yeah, that's why, that's as well, like what Mike's done by hiring his team is, Mike is just good at making the videos and sharing his knowledge, and like all the other stuff he prefers other people to do. And that's what I kind of just need to do now. Like, I'm not good at any of the stuff that you're good at, but I can just pick up a camera so easily and make a video about anything.
You have a guy working with you now though, right? There was a guy that was helping you schedule your content.
Jake he's on the Creator Club. He's literally, I think he's 18, and he's actually running a marathon. It's funny, all the boys in the Creator Club are running marathons this year, which is another thing which I'm so happy about. Like,
subconscious.
yeah, like half the people, like no one in there did any running before. Now everyone's running a marathon. So again, that's just another thing I'm so proud of. But Jake, he's super organized. He's 18. He's so driven, and like, he just organizes my life and like sends all my invoices, reaches out to brands, replies to brands, like does all that stuff that I'm just so bad at and don't think about.
So that's why it's like, it's not necessarily expensive to do it. You just need to know what hole you're plugging.
Exactly.
You get me? That's the problem.
And like, Jake has all my passwords for everything. Like, but I feel so comfortable. Like, you have to trust someone first of all. And I think once you have a good experience of trusting someone and letting them handle all that stuff, then you realize, okay, wow, this has made my life so much easier.
Before we finish up, last question I have for you is, if you were to change like one thing, what would you have changed for the past like 10 years?
That's a good one. To change one thing.
Yeah. What would you change?
I'm going to have to find you an answer, but I always say that I would change nothing. But
It's the right answer.
Is it?
It's the right answer, yeah.
I wouldn't change anything.
Because then you're just living with regret, right?
Yeah, like everything that has happened, bro, I'm very, like, I think you are as well, very self-aware. Like, I think about stuff, and like, I heard you saying on one of your podcasts that you got therapy.
Yeah, we can actually talk about that if you have a bit of time, actually.
Yeah.
And that was actually driven by Elise.
Nice.
So I actually wanted to bring that up to you, actually. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
The reason was, for me, was the fact that I was working a job that I hated. I was in tech. It was a big company in the UK. And I was just working 60, 70, 80 hours a week.
Fuck.
I was up to like 1 o'clock in the morning in Asia.
Yeah.
I was like undersleeping, overworking, super stressed. And we were like a proper strained relationship.
Yeah.
And he was like, just go sort it out. So I did better help.
Yeah.
I did it for 2 months, so 8 sessions.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it was the fact that they don't judge you. Right?
Yeah.
I just told her what I was doing, and then she kind of stripped it all back. And then she was more interested in like why I'm so like driven, basically, because like I'm always trying to push, and she was kind of breaking that down and breaking into ideas behind it, and it helped so fucking much.
No, bro,
And like our relationship has completely changed.
That's
We've been
so
together
good.
4.5 years.
Nice. I'm really happy for you. Honestly, bro.
To have that. You need to have that awareness. Awareness is the right word, but also the lack of ego to say, I don't know everything, right?
Exactly.
And how much guys in our space think that they know everything.
Exactly. Bro, honestly, like I don't judge anyone, but I know so many of my friends in particular that would benefit so much. Like after going to therapy, I went for 2 reasons. Well, a number of reasons, but number one, it was for myself, especially with the alcohol thing and it was when I did a month sober, that's when I started to get in therapy. So I wanted to see if I could do it myself without going to, like, I didn't think I was an alcoholic, but again, we'll spare all those details. But I did 1 month sober and then I started therapy just so I could be clear in my mind and so that I could go with more direction of what I was talking to the therapist about. So he helped me personally, and then he helped me with my relationship with Cindy, because me and Cindy were having a lot of trouble with our relationship, which we're a lot better now, much better. Like, I can't believe how much better. But me and Cindy were on the edge of make or break. And like, I really loved Cindy and I think Cindy really loved me. And we basically said the only way we can stay together is if we go to the therapist, because like we need someone who's going to have mutual, like I have a very good supportive group of friends, but they're always going to take my side. And even if I'm telling them stuff outside of me and Cindy about myself, my friends will kind of tell me what I want to hear. Yeah. George, maybe not so much, but again, George has been here in Bali and I haven't seen him for a while, but you need someone who's going to tell you like not what you want to hear sometimes. And it can be really hard. Like my therapist has told me so many times, no, Louis, I'm sorry, you're wrong about that. And I'm like, but how can I be wrong? Like, this is how I've been brought up. This is how my parents brought me up. Like, this is what I know. I can't be wrong. And he'll tell me like, no, you are wrong. Like, and you can't behave like that. You can't act like that. Or he'll give me a reason for why I'm behaving a certain way, or why I might get jealous, or why I might be insecure about certain things. And I can see how much it's changed the way I think. So now I'm just so much more conscious of it. And now what I try and do, which is just before I even react to certain things in life, like with me and Cindy, or even just maybe someone in the gym talking to me bad, like I always now take a moment to really, rather than just reacting, which whenever I would react, it was always going to be bad. Yeah. And now I just kind of, I do the 5-minute journal where you write down what you're grateful for and like daily affirmations every day. And now I'm trying to work on just being like completely in control of my emotions, which I think will take years.
It's never ending.
Yeah. But that's
an infinite game.
I don't want to be triggered by anyone or anything. So, but bro, the therapy for me has literally helped me so much. And I think every single person, no matter how mentally strong and stable they think they are, I think everyone would benefit massively from therapy.
100%, man. And it's the internal state like creates external reality. Like whatever you're trying to do externally in the world, whether it's build a business, build a brand, whatever, when you work on yourself internally with the assistance of someone or without the assistance of someone, that's going to be the determining factor. Do you get what you want on the outside? Exactly,
bro. So good. And like what you said about changing, I wouldn't change anything. I now know when I think back to certain moments or certain things that have happened in my life, well, I wish I had behaved like this. And now I know that I've learned from their mistakes and I'm not going to repeat their mistakes.
100%. And I want to say a massive thank you.
Thank you so much, bro.
We could do another fucking 2 hours, but...
We could, 100%.
Someone wants to go to dinner.
We could, 100%. We'll have to do it. We'll just have to do another one.
Yeah, man. This was great, though. I really appreciate it.
So good. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure, man. And hopefully you're nice and relaxed and set up.
Honestly, I just feel so happy.
Man, you got to do more podcasts. This is the real therapy.
Well, Darren, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Man.